Nutrition, what you eat, the food you like, whatever we are talking here, you probably know what I'm going to say before I even say it. But hold up, I'm about to come at this from a different angle, and I've had massive success with this, and I'm gonna tell you exactly why that is. Now, you don't have to go very far on social media or anywhere in this world for someone to tell you how to eat, and they are right to a point, but I'm going to explain why it still fails and doesn't work for you. Yes, you. And this is the key thing. I know many nutritionists, dietitians too, and probably what I'm going to say for those that really understand the mechanics of how our bodies work and behavior change, etc., that actually what I'm saying is right, and this is how you get results, because there are 100, maybe 200, maybe 300 diets out there. They all work. If you define them as working as being in a calorie deficit to lose weight, or if the macronutrient balance is right in order to change your body into the shape that you want to do, if that's beyond just simply losing body fat, it's a body recomposition, they all work. So what's the problem? Why do we have an issue? Why is something not working for you? Why globally are we all putting on more and more weight? It's quite simple when you put it down to it. If I say to you, for example, let's use an analogy instead of using a diet for a second. If you've got cold legs, then I would say to you, put some trousers on. Or for my US clients and US viewers, put some pants on. Great, now your legs are warm. But what if that pant size or that jean size or those trousers are too big around the waist? They fall down, they don't stay up for long, they don't feel comfortable, they don't suit you, they look rubbish, they don't really do their job. But do they keep your legs warm? Sure. So what does this mean? It means that you need to find pants or jeans or shorts or trousers that fit you, that are a custom-made fit for you. That's the important thing. So when someone goes onto the internet, and there are tons of them, and they're all very comical and very funny, and they make me laugh. However, it's pretty useless because I'm not really looking for a comic. I'm looking for someone to help me achieve my goals, in this case on nutrition, lose weight or lose body fat or get the energy I want or feel better, get the quality from the food that makes my life better. Then what you really need is someone who can take a basic principle of something that works, and I'll define what that is in a moment, and turn it into something that works for you. And yes, I keep pointing at the screen because it's you that matters at the end of the day. And if anyone can test me on this, then I am going to fight back, because I know what I'm saying works, and I also know when I'm out of my realm and when I would pass you on to someone else. So if you want to lose weight, or body fat specifically, you need to be in a calorie deficit. Great, no news there, don't switch off, stay with me. If you want to gain muscle, then really you ideally need to be in a calorie maintenance level, i.e. you're eating as many calories as you burn, or most likely just slightly above that, in order to create the necessarily things within the body, and I want to get technical, that will help you put on muscle. Now you need a stimulus for that, and that would be your strength training. Okay, that's beside the diet. We're talking about nutrition here as general. So let's assume that we find a diet that potentially works for you. Now, my means of success is probably different to others. If someone says to me, I lost weight on this diet, or I lost body fat on this diet, they deem that success. Yes, it's success. But if during that period you become malnourished, i.e. your body's not feeling great internally, or it's not really been giving you all the micronutrients, i.e. that your hair starts falling out, your nails look rubbish, you become sunken looking, or everything just kind of comes down. Yes, you were a big pair, now you're a smaller pair, and you're probably feeling worse the wear for it. I don't call that success. On the scales or the body fat or on that tracking measure, it looks like success, but we all know there's different definitions of success. Take, for example, driving. You could drive to somewhere. You reached your destination, but if you crash into all the cars on the way there, providing the car's still in one piece, you made it to the destination, but would you really call that a successful journey? No. The best way is be smart, avoid other cars, have a nice journey, and then you're gonna really get the end result. So you get to where you wanna be, but you also get there not feeling bruised and battered, and most likely you've got a way of sustaining that journey and going on and do other things. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. So what you want to look for in a diet is one that achieves your goal, but is also tailored to you so that it doesn't feel like it's overwhelming or something when you get to the end that you need to ditch it and run a million miles. It's just a white knuckle ride. That only works when the goal is so urgent and specific, such as an operation or an event that means the world to you and is going to change your life if you don't get there. Then maybe you've got to turn things up. But for everybody else in the world, me included, when we're talking about quality of life and achieving our goals all in one go, now that's a healthy perspective, then your nutritional plan needs to be more smart. There is not one size fits all. I can guarantee you there are 150 diets that work for you out there, but there are 149 that don't work for you long term, i.e. it's a white knuckle ride. You get to the result, but you get there bruised, battered, or in the case of the car analogy, beaten up, and all your bodywork is dented and basically the car is no longer any good. So this is what you need to do. You need to maybe do a little bit of research, but generally I find that most people don't need to do research. First off, if you are worried about your health and your nutrition and even the mindset towards nutrition, it would be advisable to see a health specialist in person. One, maybe get an MOT through your body, make sure that you're okay in general, there aren't any underlying issues whatsoever. Go see a doctor for that as well. Get some tests done if you're really worried. This is generic advice here, but it's obviously logical advice. Also, if you're having issues, maybe you suffer from bulimia or you have a binging disorder. Now, this is something, again, that you want to get help with in the first instance. Don't avoid the obvious. You can still achieve your goals even if you've got massive hurdles and problems in your way. And I've worked with people like this, and I've worked with specialists like this too, and we've got people past those hurdles and onto their goal and living a totally new life that they never thought was possible. This stuff works. If you have some allergic reactions to foods, or there are things where you need to do like a FODMAP approach, please research that if you need to, then I would suggest going to see a dietitian. Notice I didn't say nutritionist. I've got nothing against nutritionists, but I'm talking a registered dietitian who's going to help you. If that isn't the case for you, then a nutritionist with a sound mind, or someone like myself, and again, I will tell you how I operate in a moment, be totally transparent about that, then you can start to get the results, okay? So the urgency or the nuances behind what's holding you back, if they are medical or psychological, then you need to address those first. Take away the root cause, or at least tackle the root cause, and then go about taking the right actions to get your goals in a sustainable, maintainable, and healthy way. So now we've cleared that up, this is what I'd suggest for you. You've got several routes, as we know. Now, there are plenty of diets out there, and then maybe you eat meat, maybe you don't eat meat, maybe you're a vegetarian, maybe you're a vegan, maybe you're anything else, pescatarian, it doesn't matter what that list is. You will know what your style of eating is. Now, I'm not going to go into here, which I normally do, saying about the importance of protein and fiber, etc. Take that as a given, okay? I'm not going to get that granular, because down below here you have 2 eating plans and they don't involve calorie tracking to a degree. There might be an element of understanding and monitoring what you're eating for a while, but that makes sense because what gets monitored gets measured, and what gets measured can get you results. Then you can go through with that. But this isn't a macro testing or really intricate detail way of eating. It just simply works. But that aside, let me just finish what I'm saying right now, because this is going to help you utilize what's written in here and turn it into your own. Ultimately, the best nutritionists in the world, and even dietitians as well, but dietitians can take it to a whole new level. That's when it gets more specialized. When you've got unique problems that really need some form of supplementation or some kind of approach that is almost medicinal as well, then those guys are amazing. Hat comes off to you. And there's a time and a place for that. But assuming that isn't you, now what you want to do is find out how can you take a perfectly good diet, and remember what I define as a good diet. 1, it achieves your goal, but 2, it doesn't malnourish you. That's important. Because if it malnourishes you, this goal doesn't mean anything. It's just faceless value stuff, okay? This is where I have the problem with the comic who will come along and rightfully say, you just need to be in a calorie deficit, stop being weird, stop being crazy. No, everyone's got their nuances, but let's deal with the crazy side of everybody and let's tackle the behavior changes. And if you watch my goals video, you see how I go about this in that essentially we're making small little steps. We're going to take the lowest hanging fruit or the lowest hanging poos, as I say there. And that works well with nutrition, but don't think of poo and nutrition because they don't go very well. But what I mean by that is that you want to tackle the little things that you do, and there will be little things that you do, behaviors that spiral out of control. And if you just look to monitor those and tame them, don't necessarily have to get rid of them, then you start to see that your diet in general improves. It doesn't become clean, no good, no bad, just all great and personalized to you. And generally I find, and this is where I'm opening up about my approach, is you get a baseline diet that works well, and then you add in the bits that you love. That might be the pizza, that might be the beer, it might be the wine, it might be anything. It doesn't matter what it is. Donut, doesn't matter. But you put that in a moderate amount, and then with that baseline really, really good overall diet that kind of satisfies the calorie deficit if you're looking to lose body fat, or satisfies the body composition goals that you've got and keeps you nourished, and then you chuck in all the extras, the sprinkles on top that we all love and we need to some degree as human beings, then that is all great. Now you've got yourself the making of a workable diet. As I said to you, I generally take 2 approaches. 1, if you've got a very specific goal, maybe you're an athlete, maybe you've got a competition coming up, maybe you've got a wedding coming up where you're going to be getting married in your underwear for some crazy reason. Why would you want to do that? But hey, maybe you're going to do that. Then you're going to have to really knuckle down for that time. But even then, you would still want to do it in a way that works best for you. And that's the key here. As I say, you've got a whole plethora of diets out there. There's a big word, but you've got multiple diets. Generally, I just define any diet, regardless of the results it gets you, as bad if it leaves you in a worse place psychologically when you're at the end of it or got to your goal than you were when you begun. That, for me, is an absolute foul. So now what you want to do is go along the route of a logical diet that works for life, but you can dip in and out of, restrict it a little bit more when you really need to, if you've got an event coming up or something that you want to really get in shape for, and then relax off a little bit over time. Now, what's the benefit of doing this? There are so many, but if you start to fuel this in the right way and it psychologically feels well for you, now all of a sudden you're going to create that internal feel where everything feels right, and that can go down to a mitochondria level where you just start dealing with it a bit more, because nutrition can be stressful. Now, if you do it right, you'll very quickly adapt to that, no longer see it as a stress and still get the results. Now, that's what I deem as success. Now, the time frame is irrelevant. Whatever your goals are, be definitive about it, be realistic about it, and understand that the longer you can give yourself to get to your goal weight, the better. Not just psychologically, but physically too, because then your body's set point, and you don't need to worry about too much about this. And even if it's theoretical based, think of the logic behind this, that your set point, your body can catch up with you. Because when you go on a crash diet, if you were, say, 90 kilos at one point and you crash diet down to 80 kilos, your mind and your psychology of your body and even the physicalness of your body is still used to being at 90 kilos. It's still around here. You need to give it time to catch up with where you are at 80, which is why I say the slower you do that route, the more it can come along. It's lagging behind you, and the more it catches up over time, the more you allow for that time to happen, the more it can catch up and keep with you. So what I would say is, for someone, if their goal is 80 kilos, for example, as I just said, from 90 to 80 kilos, then what I'd say is your goal to be successful is not to get to 80 kilos. We're going to do that. We're going to do it in the way that doesn't drive you insane. The goal is for you to get there and maintain it for a length of time. You can reverse diet out. And again, I've explained that in several of my content that I've written and also in my premium content and the stuff I give to my clients too, how you can reverse out. But you want to stay around that 80 kilos. Why? Because now your set point, your body's homeostasis, its comfort points is gonna gravitate towards this new weight. And now when you fluctuate, you're gonna fluctuate around your new weight, up and down. And I fluctuate a lot, 6-7 pounds a day, but I'm fluctuating around this weight. If you've done it so quickly, then your body's still gonna be at this 90 kilos, which is why you saw something like in The Biggest Loser where people rebounded back. There wasn't enough adjustment time. So this is why you need to do it properly. Now, download my 2 plans below. They're basic stuff and they work a treat. There are a million diets out there. You don't have to follow mine or what I've put down here. But if you use my way of thinking and what I've just coached across there, any approach that's worth its salt and is creditable will get you the results you want. If you want to speed it up and you want to make it more personalized, then obviously that's when you'd reach out to a coach. A behavior change coach, I think, is absolutely the right way to go about nutritional goals. Unless you have complications, then you go to a dietitian. That's what I suggest. So my background has been in behavior change, but that has been life-changing for my clients who have worked with some of the best nutritionists and even dietitians in the world, got overwhelmed and felt like basically in order to achieve their goals, they basically can't live nutritionally. But by making small behavior changes, and this takes a little bit of detective work, there's a bit of trust here. As a client, I always ask my clients not to cover up all their bad habits, because if they do, it's like a detective coming in to a murder scene, but the body's been ripped out or put under the floorboards. I can't find it, I can't see it, I can't do my detective work. Let me do my detective work and then I can help you understand how we can get around the issues that you're facing without going insane. So I'm going to wrap up what I call a successful nutritional plan. 1, it achieves the goal. So if that's to lose weight, you're in a calorie deficit. Okay? 2, nutritionally, it's great for you. That's where the protein, the fiber, and the macronutrient balance and the mineral balance all comes into play. You want to make sure you're getting some goodness in there, right? Why would you not? And 3, when you get to the end, you can reverse out of it, sustain it, up and down it a little bit, but you maintain your results. They would be the key to a successful diet. Now, how that looks for everybody changes, because if you're a vegetarian, vegan, or omnivorous, or pescatarian, whatever it is, the route is still the same. These 3 things still stay the same, just the means of getting there is different. And that is what I'm talking about. So if your legs are cold, you buy some pants, some trousers, some jeans. But what you really do is you make sure that they're tailored and fit for you. Because if they don't fit you, they'll keep your legs warm for a little while, but then they'll get cold again. And it's a pain in the backside. Keep pulling those things back up. So when it comes to your nutrition, it all is about what works for you. There are 101 ways to go about it, but there's only one way to make it work for you. And most likely that's going to be making some small, not mind-blowing behavior changes, maybe adding a couple that really revolutionize your approach and they change your nutritional success for a lifetime. Now that's genuine and that really gets results. So I hope you found this useful. Please download the videos, because one of them is a video there of the nutritional plans that I've got there. They're very easy to follow. You can't go wrong if you follow it. But then if you need help adapting it for you and making it work for you, then you need to reach out to a professional. That could be me, who's going to help you tweak a few behaviors or give you a few pointers that are going to personalize it for you so that it works for you. And I keep saying for you because that's all that matters. Once you start putting this in and it's fueling your body for life and your goals and whatever else you've got, and you've got your conditioning in place, you've got your strength training, if that's relevant to you, but I suggest that's pretty much relevant to anyone above the age of 40 to some degree, and your mobility, so that you're tackling the pain in your life. This all seems overwhelming, but remember, diet is no different than the minimum amount of change for the maximum amount of results. That's brilliant, that's smart, that's how you have a life and you have health all at the same time. Then you're going to get success. If you really are struggling with this and you want more pointers, please reach out for me. I don't bite unless it's lunchtime. If I can't help you, then I will recommend where you go to get help so you can't lose. So download the nutritional advice, and I wish you all the success in the world.